Hi, and welcome to the second video in my Google Sheets playlist or series. If you haven't seen the first video already, where we introduce Google Sheets and cover some basics, you can go back to my channel and check that out now. And before we continue with the second video, I wanted to call out one thing I had intended to mention at the start of the last video, and that is that these videos are being recorded in full HD. So if you have the opportunity to watch the videos full screen, you will get a better benefit and see the elements of the screen a lot more clearly. As we progress the series and start to look at pivot tables and charts, the more screen space will become beneficial to us. So on this second video, we are going to look at three areas. Hopefully the video will be a little shorter. The three areas we're going to look at are number formats, a little bit of formatting some text, and we'll look at some basic formulas as well. And we will try and apply a practical example to this. So the first thing we're going to do here is look very quickly at some basic formatting tips I wanted to show you. One of the good things that I personally like about working with spreadsheets is when they are kept neat and tidy. It's not very nice when someone shares with me a spreadsheet and the borders are all over the place, or that the text is untidy, or there is inconsistencies on the number formats, things like that. If you get into a situation where you have messed up the formatting of the document, the simplest thing to do is just to clear the formatting for that area, and that's easy to do. So on this sheet just now, this is where we left off from my last video. I did add some additional people to the list, but if I wanted to clear the formatting from a section of these rows or cells, I would select the cells, go to Format, and down the bottom you have the Clear Formatting menu option. And if I click on that, you'll see that the borders, all the formatting properties have been removed. So you can see the numbers were aligned to the left. That's changed back to the default right. Any formatting to the text that had taken place, such as the font face, the size, the color, would all be removed, and the borders have been removed as well. So if you wanted to, and for this example, I will clear all of these formats. And the keyboard shortcut is Control and backslash, which is the same as Microsoft Excel. As we spoke about, there are some similarities between Excel and Microsoft Office, sorry. So Control and backslash on the keyboard there, that takes away that number formatting. So what we're now going to do is use one of the things I like about using tables in Google Sheets, and that's applying some alternating colours to the formats. Now what we can do to do this is select the data. So if I select all of the data here, go to Format, and then down the bottom we have an option for alternating colours. If I click on that just now, you can see that the table on the left has changed its design a little bit, and on the panel on the right hand side here, we have some options available. So at the top we are applying to the range, so you can see it's going from cell A1 to D14, but if we wanted to expand that to say D20, we can do so just by adding in additional numbers to that range. But we'll continue to stick to our D14 that we had there originally. You can check a box to say if the column, the table, the range has a header or a footer. Now ours does have a header. You can see there that we have the employee number, the column headings are there, so we can put them there. If it also had a footer, you could check the box, which would then apply some formatting to the bottom of the range. In our example, we don't have a footer on there. We then have a couple of options. We can select a predefined formatting style, so you can see that Google has proposed some there. And we can select those and the changes apply instantly. Or if you would like to go down the route of picking your own colours, then you can do so using the options down the bottom here. So the header, for example, we could change that to something crazy like a lime green. But I'll stick to the predefined one just now. So if you are creating tables within Google Sheets and you want a very quick solution to making them look a little bit more professional or pretty, however you may wish to say, then that's a good thing to do. And I've got a couple of personal things that I always tend to do, which is bolding the column headings there. And I like to keep all of the data left aligned. Some people don't like that, but that's a personal preference of mine. So that's looking at some basic formatting from a decorative perspective. Let's now look at number formatting. So I've got some stuff on here, some numbers on here that I'd like to format. So we can see there that we have the salaries, and the salaries are showing simply as numbers. But if I wanted to display those with currency, again, it's quick and easy to do that. To make the change, what I'm going to do is select the values from the sheet, and then from the format menu again, go to number, and then you can select down the menu here. There are some predetermined ones. Now, these are the most common ones that will apply, and you can see that we have currency, accounting, date, time, stuff like that. We'll take a look at the date and the percentage in a moment, but right now for this one, the salaries, we want those displayed as currency. Now you can see that it's actually providing me with a pound symbol there. I guess either my Google account or the browser agent data determines that I'm in the UK, and that's why it proposes a pound. So where you are, you should be receiving your local currency there. Now I'm going to select currency rounded, because usually when we're talking about salaries, the individual pennies, the decimal values don't matter too much. So I'll go with currency rounded. And you can see there that that's looking a little bit better now, and that's typically the format that we would like to see salaries in. Now, I did apply that rounded to it, so if I click into this one for 20,000, for example, and modify the value, and to modify the value, I can click up in the formula bar here, or double click into the cell. And if I just add 21 pence onto the end of that, you'll see that 21 pence isn't visible because we've formatted that particular cell, that range of cells, as the rounded value. If we did it the other way, so if I went to format, number, currency, the decimals are showing there. But again, we're not too interested in that for now, so I'll just take that off. And that's how we apply some number formatting there. Now, if we wanted to look at formatting a date, now at this moment in time I don't have dates on this particular sheet, but for this example I'll insert one. So Control and semicolon inserts today's date. Again, it's the same as Microsoft Excel. So today's date, we've got the 30th of January there. Now, if we would like to format that date in a different way, in my day job, I'm working a lot with people, throughout Europe and throughout the US. And working with currencies and dates can tend to vary depending on that particular region. Although I don't use Google Sheets for professional use, I understand that many people do, so this should be helpful. Let's say we want to display the date in a different way. Let's say I would like to display that as month, day, year instead of day, month, year, which is typically how the US display their dates. Or if we wanted to change the currency to a different currency, not the GBP, then we would select the cell or the range of cells that we want to change the value for. Go to Format, Number, More Formats down the bottom. So currently we can see here that we have the predefined options available to us, but if we want to be something more specific, then we go down the bottom to More Currencies or More Date and Time Formats. If we click into that, we should then be able to move this box along a little bit. There we go. So we can see the value there. Now, there are some other options down the bottom here, and typically what happens is Google Sheets will remember the values that you have used before. So I can actually see the 8530 there is showing for me. That's because I've did that one before, but if you haven't done that before, what you may have to do is create a custom format, which is quite easy to do. So at the top here, we can see that we have the day / month / year. Now, and we can see that the month is displaying as a number. Let's say we want to go for a custom format. So we can just take all of these things out just now. And then we can click on the drop down to pick a value. So we're going to go for the month. And that month is going to display as 8. For us, it's going to display as 1. but let's say we want to go for an abbreviated month. So we'll go with, so that should display Jan for us. And let's say we don't want a slash, we want a dash, a hyphen. Then we're going to go for the day. And we'll go for the day with the leading 0. That's a personal preference of mine. And a dash, and then we're going to insert the year. And the year is going to display as a 2, so right now it will display as 18, but we could display the full numeric here. And if I press apply, you can see there that it's displaying our date now as Jan 30th, 2018. And you can customize or pick values that are more specific to what your preference may be. So that works absolutely fine. Date serials, if you use date serials within your line of work, they do also apply within Google Sheets as well, in the exact same way that they do with Microsoft Excel. If you want more information on date serials, please let me know and I can create a video for that. But that tends to be very specific to, I guess, a niche market. So that's the date, and the next thing I'm going to look at is formatting a percentage, which is quite easy to do, and we'll try and apply that in a practical example here. So what I'm going to do is expand this table. Okay, so we're going to put in, we'll change salary to current salary, and then we'll create a column for new salary. And because we did that formatting through the format menu, Google Sheets is automatically continuing that formatting along there. In fact, the new salary, we're going to make that amount change, and then we'll do new salary. And this is where we're going to put a couple of formulas in here as well. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new field for the percentage of change. Well, let's say inflation rate. Rate's a better one. Inflation rate. Okay. So the inflation rate is going to be the rate of inflation that these people are going to get. So let's pretend it's their pay review time, and let's say we want to give them each a 3.5% pay increase. What we typically do is put in 0.035, sorry. Put in 0.035, and that'll be a 3.5% increase. So to format that one as a percentage, we go to format, number, and percent, and you can see that's now showing as 3.5%. If I click onto that, we can see that that's 3.5%, and we can see that up here as well. So if we have to change that value, we can. You know, if we want to make it 3.75%, then we can just continue to add that one on there. So that's how we do the percentage number format. We're now going to move on to doing a couple of formulas. Now, the first thing we're going to do, the basic formula, is a sum. So we want to see what the total salary is for all of these team members. So we'll put in salary bill current, salary bill proposed. And I'm going to just use a format painter here, and the format painter will apply the same formatting to the source cells that I picked. Now, the salary bill current is going to be a sum of what all of these numbers are here. And there's a few ways you can do this. You can use the function button, insert function sum, and then pick the cells that you want to be in your sum, like that, and press enter, and that'll put that figure in there for you as well. And again, Google Sheets has looked at the values we're summing and it has automatically applied the currency format to that. And we want to do the same thing here with this one. We'll do this one manually. Equals sum, open the brackets, and then we're going to go with the new salary and close. And right now it's saying 0, and it has no pound symbol next to it either because there's no values in there, and we didn't apply any formatting to column F where the new salaries will be. So we want to see what the amount change is going to be for these people. So we'll start in here, and what we're going to do is equals this person's salary times, so we put in the asterisk or the wildcard, 3.5%, or 3.75%, we click on the rate of inflation and press enter. And that tells us that the rate of inflation for this guy is going to be, the amount he's going to receive is 1875. So we can then put another sum in here. Again, I'll take this one manually, equals sum, current salary, add the new salary, close, and it's now worked out what his new salary is going to be. Now, the salary bill proposed, you can now see is taken across that value because we only have the one. And it has applied the currency formatting as well, which is good. Now, watch what happens. What we can then do is autofill. So rather than having to type out that same formula a number of times, we can autofill. But we have to take some caution on this. First of all, if I'd autofill this down, it's a little bit of a mess. And if we take a look at these to see what happens, so if we click on that first one, it's doing D2, so cell D2, which is this guy's salary, multiplied by I1, which is up there, and it's given us the right amount. The next one down is D3, which is this guy's salary, multiplied by I2, which is what we don't want to happen because in I2 we don't have a value. And then for this one, it's going to do multiplied by I3, which is the total salary bill, that guy's salary, and then there's no cells. So if we go to the very bottom, for example, and click into here, you can actually see the cells that it's referencing. So it's taking this guy's salary in D14 and it's trying to multiply it by the value of cell I13. The way we get around about that is by locking down the cell that it's going to use. Now, I'm not too sure how you do this through the menu, but the keyboard shortcut is what I've always used. To do that, you click onto the value you want to lock in place. So let's take the first guy as an example. D2, his salary. Now, as we autofill this down, we wanted to continue looking at the cell to the left. We don't want to lock in that first one. So for this guy, we wanted to look at D3, but we don't want to look at I2. We want to look at I1. And for this guy, we want to look at I1, not I16. So we click into the cell where the inflation rate is, click on that value there, and press F4. And if we press enter, that value doesn't change. But if we autofill down, you can see that the values are now looking right. And let's now just double check what's going on. So I'll just pick a random one on the table. This guy, D9 multiplied by, and it's put in these dollar symbols. And what the dollar symbol does is it locks the cell reference in place and doesn't allow it to modify or to increment or change when the cell gets autofilled down. So if we went left or right, it's not going to change from I1. If we just slowly move down the other ones, you'll see D9, D10, and that I1 always remains in place at the top there. And that's exactly what we're looking for here. If I take the new salary and autofill that down, and we can just double click on this as well, that then autofills down and provides us with good data, and that's exactly what we're looking to see. So I guess the leader of this team could use this data now to justify how affordable the pay increase is going to be. In actual fact, the salary bill, if it could go a little bit higher, then they may just want to change this one value, so they might change it to 0.0425. Sorry, 4.25. So because we put a percentage in there, we can continue typing in the percentage. We don't have to do the zero decimals. So he can then just make changes here. I can take a look to see what the salary bill is going to be and make a decision on the pay increases and work it out that way. So going to wrap that video up there. So again, we took a look at some number formats, some cell formatting, and we did some basic formulas. and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.